Welcome to Mujeres Unscripted, where we amplify the voices of women through unique stories and shared identity. We're Christina
and Renee.
And each week we dive into candid conversations about culture, career, and personal growth.
Join us as we celebrate the strength and resilience that connect us all. This is Mujeres Unscripted.
Hello and welcome to Mujeres Unscripted. I am Renee.
And I'm Christina.
And I'm so glad you guys are here today. We got a couple of things going on that we want to talk about, but we've already done a show about menopause. But we found
I think we're always going to be talking about menopause.
But we found this really funny lady, and we're going to put a link to one of her, I guess, is it TikTok or one of her reels or something? And you've probably seen her, but I'll let Christina talk about her because she is hilarious.
Yeah, so she definitely is on the same wavelength that we're all on, especially those of us that are going through perimenopause. And when I came across her, and I think Renee's the one who shot over her videos to me, and I was just like so connected to her. Mm-hmm. Not only is she funny, right, but she was making really good points. And sometimes we just have to say, not just to ourselves, but out loud and say, you know what? We just don't care. So we're kind of like we're kind of like going to add our little I don't care because with every meeting she starts, right? Because not only is she gone national, this lady has gone global. So many women from all parts of the world have decided to join the We Don't Care Club anymore. And so I hope somehow this reaches to her too, because Lady Miss Melanie is on point with her We Just Don't Care movement. And so
I love the neck pillow.
I asked, what's that?
The neck pillow.
She'll wear a neck pillow. She's got her glasses, all over the place because you never know when you're going to lose a pair. So she's got her glasses going. I mean, she just really connected to me, because I just like every video that she
embodies how I feel going through this.
Yeah. So Renee and I decided that we were going to create about 3 or so We Don't Care, but this time this is the teacher edition of We Don't Care because we're on summer break.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my first I don't care. I don't care if I am on summer break and I sleep till, 12 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't care what you think. My second one is, I don't care if I haven't cooked lunch for the boys. They're 17. They'll find something. Right. I'm sure a lot of people, moms out there feel the same way I do. And my last one is, I don't care if laundry hasn't been done. Yeah. And that it's piling up in its little corner there, about to start walking around. Mm-hmm. It'll get done when it get done. Why? Because I'm on summer break.
I feel those. I am not turning my alarm on. I don't care. Yeah. Not turning it on. I've been wearing the same clothes for 2 days. I don't care.
Don't care.
Haven't left the house.
There's no need to.
I don't care. I don't care that you're hungry. That one really hit my soul because it's like they come home and they think that they can eat every 5 minutes. And I'm like, children, you didn't eat this much in school. You didn't eat. Yeah. I'm going to get you to get back on your school stomach. I don't care if it's summertime. Sir, I know what time you eat breakfast and lunch at school.
Well, they feed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, even though mine's 9, he can do a Hot Pocket. He's learned how to do chimichangas in the microwave. So, no. The only thing they come and ask me for is if the pitcher's too heavy for him.
Oh. Okay.
And then even then, I'm like, is your brother awake? Is your sister awake? Yeah, my sister's awake. Go tell her. That's why I had so many of y'all. Go help each other.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, we're gonna put a link to hers, to one of her reels, and into our Facebook and Instagram pages, so you can see who we're talking about. But she is just so funny, so funny.
Yeah, and enjoy the movement, right?
We've joined the
I just
movement.
think,
We've joined the movement.
yeah. So if she also sees us, hey Melanie, we're right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um,
yeah, on other news,
on other news, so I know neither one of us are Cowboys fans, Dallas Cowboy
did
fans.
you wanna? Yeah.
Yeah, but my husband is, and I do love the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. You know, I've been watching their show on CMT for quite a while. Now they've moved on to Netflix, but apparently they didn't feel like they made enough money, and that's a big deal with I guess this season, is that they didn't make enough money. So beforehand, I got my little article. It's from Forbes, so it's official. They're making about $500 a game.
It's verified.
It's verified. Yes, it's verified. It's Forbes verified. So they were making about $500 a game, and about $500 an appearance, and that came up to roughly $75,000 a year, which I don't even make. But and then on top of that is that they were already getting significantly higher than the average NFL cheerleader team. So the Cowboy cheerleaders, DCC, were making 500. All the other NFL cheerleaders are making about 150. So yeah, so they're already making. But then you got to think about it. They've had a TV show on CMT for years. Now they have Netflix specials. They have the calendar. They travel all over the world visiting troops. They do appearances. Yep. So, if you've watched the show, a lot of them were trying to keep their regular jobs. Like one was an orthodontist, one, was in school. Wow. So they were trying to do all this, and then you see the level of expectation for these girls. It is ridiculous.
For a schedule like that, I would even say they need more. They're known worldwide.
Yes.
These women, I mean, like you said, the expectations are high.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've watched the show. I've also watched the show, and I'm just like, what? I mean, trying to survive on their first income to continue doing this kind of work. This kind of work, I'm sorry, you've got people who are TikTok videographers,
Mm-hmm.
who are making more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these women, all due respect, Cowboy org, they need a little bit more. Not that I'm gonna make the difference for them, but
right.
For a schedule that they have, yeah.
And then it says Forbes values the Dallas Cowboys at more than $10 billion.
Can you believe that? You mean you can't?
And
don't get me started.
Like you said, it is world renowned. When I was overseas, I mean, they found out I was from Dallas, and I was like, oh, the cheerleaders, and I'm like, yeah. They knew the Dallas Cowboys, they knew the cheerleaders, and they thought we all owned horses. So overseas, so they are world renowned. People know who they are. So that was a big issue with this season 2 of their Netflix series or whatever. And so now, instead of $15 to $20 an hour, they're going to be making $75 an hour, which apparently is a 400% increase in pay.
Well, yeah. And and the cost of living here in Dallas, in the Metroplex, is ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It isn't cheap.
No.
It isn't cheap. And so these women, if this is going to be their home base, right, they really need some type of compensation for that.
Yeah, and then they live close to the Star, which is in Frisco, which there is slightly higher than where we stay.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so kudos to them, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, for fighting for pay and for getting it.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
can the Dallas organization do more? I think so.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. But my whole thing is, if I was just retired last year, I'd be like, man, I missed out on the $75 an hour. I mean,
Note to self,
can I
don't
get some
retire
pay?
just yet.
Right? Can I get some back pay?
Is there a retirement system for cheerleaders? I'd like to know. That's a good question.
Well, I know they do like to take in like former cheerleaders, because the two ladies in charge were former cheerleaders from the 80s.
Mm.
And then the other helpers, like Emmett Smith's daughters, works for the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Ooh.
So it looks like they like to hire from within.
Yeah.
So you could actually move up in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders organization. But you fight for it, and I don't see any other cheerleaders having their own Netflix special.
I don't either.
I mean,
at this point, it doesn't even matter. And see, this is how awesomeness they are.
mm-hmm.
Is that no matter how bad, I know there's some Dallas Cowboy fans out there. No matter how bad the football team does, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are awesome. I
They're
mean,
always on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything there.
They've always maintained, since the movie in the 70s, which I don't think I've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've never seen the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader movie that they did in the 70s. But like I said, CMT, when that first started coming out, I didn't realize how much they wanted from these girls. I mean, it is every night till like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. They're working out. They're going to dance classes during the day. I mean, it consumes their... Oh, sorry, I just kicked my cat. I apologize, Frida. She's looking at me like,
Frida Marie.
Frida Marie.
No, I get it. I think for $1 billion organization, they could do more. Yeah, they could do more.
Yeah. So,
like this is new. I know we kind of had a little talking points, but kind of like the WNBA's referees, they could do more. They could do better.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch Fever basketball, but I've been kind of watching it from afar, but watching, and it's just like you keep watching all these videos and how one particular athlete keeps getting treated, and I kind of want to join the basketball team just so I could start, pushing back.
Yeah.
But WNBA referees could do better as well.
Yeah. They could. We can say that about a lot of the referees in the world.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so kudos, Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. You really do. You really, I like, you got to pay me so I can keep this body the way it looks for them. You know what I mean? Because that's
work in itself.
I mean, and then you got to eat healthy, which we know is not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not easy. People think it is, and it takes so much work.
And they're expected to look like that, And I'm pretty sure the other cheerleaders on, other teams, whether it be NFL, NHL, because I didn't know that hockey has cheerleaders, but hey, hockey has
cheerleaders?
Yeah, hockey has cheerleaders. You got the Mavs cheerleaders. I don't think Rangers do. But all these organizations, I can see, you don't see them as much. And maybe that's because we're in Dallas, but again, no, it's the DCC is on another level. But like, it's not like if you're on the Browns cheerleading squad, you can take a little break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas these girls, they have to, because during the summer they go and do with the troops. I know they do troops and stuff like that, so they're always on.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
So I'm gonna need that amount of money to keep that body.
I mean, I know that's a little bit more than what certain teachers get paid. I get it, but that's, like I said, that's a tight schedule, and
that's a 24/7 job.
Yeah, and that's not enough. Sorry, it's great. It's great that they finally moved up, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. And then we had a little blast from the past that could have brought up some
Ooh.
trauma.
Is that how you're going to introduce
That's
it?
how I'm going to introduce it.
Hey, so yeah, I woke up to my, when you get on Facebook and you start going through the videos, and I woke up to apparently Elon Musk's rocket at SpaceX in Houston, Texas, blew up. And so I was just like, why wasn't that like, I don't know. It's like all of a sudden I'm starting getting all the those reels, and I was just like, what happened? But the historian in me, the slight conspiracy theorist in me, feels like this is almost like an FU to somebody special.
And then also, yes, because he's sent up multiple ones, and
Yeah.
and then because he's the one that sends celebrities up, right?
Yes.
Now sitting back as a celebrity, I'm like, do I want to go anymore?
No, I never know which one's gonna work and which one's not. And when he's throwing a tantrum and when he's not.
Yeah.
Nothing's safe right now.
No. But I did have some, PTSD from sitting in first grade, watching Challenger kind of.
Yeah, it
do the
always
same
takes me
thing.
back to that day.
Mhm.
Yeah, when the Challenger, all of that always takes me back.
Mhm.
The recent explosions when the twin rockets
Yeah.
hit each other, a couple of years ago. All of those events always take me back to what happened that day. You're right. We were, in front of the televisions because our teachers were excited. We were excited,
Because the teacher was on there.
because the teacher was about to go up into space.
Like, that
Which
was the
also
coolest
kind
thing.
of created this idea that maybe one day we could.
Right.
And no.
And
I love the idea of space. I love it. Going above the clouds, right?
I just don't want to be. The way to get there is my stopping point, because
Yeah,
I don't.
the rockets rattling.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't even do roller coasters. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So for me, that's just like, I don't know about all that.
Armando and I just watched a really good documentary about Uhura from Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
and how she influenced the NASA space program for women and people of color. And
Oh,
yeah, it's really good. I think it's on Paramount.
okay.
But it was so good. But I love how the astronauts talked about that moment, especially
Mm-hmm.
the first timers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our first black man, first woman. How they described that feeling of being shot up into the air, and it was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
to be the first one feeling it like that. And yeah, but no, I think those feelings of wanting to go up
Mm-hmm.
kind of died down.
Yeah. 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 So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. We'll see if any more celebrities choose to go.
Yeah, but they can't come back and call themselves astronauts. I'm sorry.
That killed
You
me.
didn't perform.
You went
You
to
didn't
space?
perform studies. You weren't doing research.
Because
You
to me,
weren't there for multiple days.
that's like a slap in the face for the people that have been training for years
Yeah.
to do this stuff.
Mhm.
And really, you just went to space, which is so cool. I'm not taking that away from them. But to come back and be like, I'm an astronaut now. No.
Yeah, Gail, don't call yourself an astronaut. Yeah, she kind of rattled my. I'm like, no, Gail, you're not an astronaut.
You're not an astronaut.
Most of those people are PhDs.
And I've spent years in their field.
Experts in their field.
Yes.
Engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Have many seats, ma'am.
Stick to your daytime show.
Yeah.
She's an expert in that.
Yes.
I would never take that away from her.
No, she does very, very well. She does very well. I've only seen it a couple times because I don't watch news in the morning. I want to wake up and be happy. And so I don't watch news in the morning.
Like Katy Perry. I love what she does.
I'm not a
Great
fan.
entertainer.
I'm not a fan of
Not
hers.
an astronaut.
Not a fan of hers.
Let's keep that clear.
Um, now, so we just celebrated Juneteenth.
Woohoo!
And I bet there's a lot of people out there that don't know of. I'm pretty sure they've heard of Afro-Cuban,
Mm-hmm.
Afro-Caribbean,
Yeah.
but I don't think they realize how big an Afro-Mexican population there is living
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico due to
Yeah.
the black diaspora that happened. Because a lot of times people think they only brought slaves to America. No, no, they brought
Right.
slaves
No.
to North and South America, which includes
Mm-hmm.
Mexico and some
Yeah.
South American countries. But um, we do have, Mexico does have a large population of Afro Mexicans.
Yep. 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 There were originally from Florida, Black Seminoles, who migrated during the Cheerleaders into Oklahoma. And unfortunately, they saw that, you know what, this isn't going to get any better. A whole group of those Seminole Indians and Seminole Blacks decided to, keep moving westward, right? And they ended up settling in El Nacimiento, Mexico. And that's where kind of their culture has been thriving. So for anyone to say, we don't know each other's culture, we have a connection. Believe it
Mm-hmm.
or not, we all have a connection to each other, and it's a thriving community. Every Juneteenth, they celebrate their culture, not just their Black culture, but their Mexican culture,
Mm-hmm.
their Seminole culture. So, if we ever wonder, where do we come from and where's our family from, and you start doing the research and you realize, wait a minute, El Nacimiento is close to my mom's town or my dad's village, guess what? We might have a connection there.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of drew me in because my family's from Coahuila, Mexico, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, we're more border folks, but no one says there might not be a connection,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of nice to hear that history and to realize, wait a minute, we're all in this together, no matter how we see it, you know. Lucky for them, that they saw that the racist policies under the American government during that time were not going to stop, right?
Yeah.
Sure, here's Oklahoma, have at it. No, it was going to be taken little by little, and they could almost foresee the future, and they said, no, we got to go. And
Mm-hmm.
so they made Mexico their home.
And I don't know if a lot of people know this because a lot of my students get surprised when we talk in my Mexican American Studies class that Mexico ended slavery before America. And that was a
Hmm.
big problem on why the Texans wanted to leave Mexico, was because Mexico was like, we don't have slavery anymore.
Hmm.
And, I know y'all, Austin, and have come over here with your slaves, and that's fine. But, you know, after this generation, you can't have anymore. And that's one of the big reasons we have the Texas Revolution. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, and then there's also there's a big community in, what did I say? I'm looking, Oaxaca,
Oaxaca.
Tecoyame, Oaxaca, and they're on the Costa Chica, which means
Uh-huh.
the short coast, but they have a big population there also. Unfortunately, it looks like a lot of the people have migrated to Coahuila from this area. And so a lot of this community is the opposite. It's not flourishing as much, unfortunately. Um,
Mm.
and the government of Mexico needs to do better because they're not being treated as well. In fact, this community, I won't. So I'm not gonna even try the name. I'll spell it for you guys so you can see why I'm not even gonna try the name. It is Cuajinilapa.
Yeah, that's hard. I'm
So
really good with names. That one's hard.
that one, and I've tried it many times to discuss it, but it's a home to about 27,000 people. 75% of them in that community identify as Afro-Mexicanos, but for some reason the Mexican tourist travel guides have erased this city, and I guess they're focusing more on Coahuila. than Oaxaca right now. But they have, like you said, they celebrate Juneteenth. They celebrate, they call it the Black Pearl. So they're very proud of their Afro roots, you know. And
awesome.
and if you look into Mexico's history, we've accepted everybody. We accepted the Asians that left America during the 40s and the 30s and the 50s. Also, we've accepted them to the community. Our the Irish during the U.S.-Mexican War, we've accepted into our our community. So we come in all shapes and forms.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted everybody to know that Juneteenth is also celebrated in Mexico. So, but yeah, I mean, we have a Jewish president down there, so it's
yeah.
It's. I guess they took on the American experiment in Mexico with the big old melting pot.
Yeah.
And what comes out of a big old melting pot but good food.
Good. Yeah, that's right.
And I was telling Christina, I'm looking in. What am I looking at this time? I guess I cut off the website I was looking at, but they were talking about how they have fried bananas, which is a very Caribbean thing, served with condensed milk, often consumed with spicy crimson-colored fish stews, slow-cooked pig cheek on fried corn pancakes or sopes.
Oof.
That just sounds so good.
It does.
It just sounds so good.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah. So I'm just like, the herbs and stuff. I think that's the for recipes is just we come from all over the place, and I love the fact that and it's kind of funny because I've heard people having a cultural identity nowadays because with everything going on, everybody's wanting to embrace their indigenous roots, which is fine.
Yeah.
But we can't let go of the fact that we do have European roots.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched the Voices by John Leguizamo, and one of the experts, he said it's an internal conflict many Latinos have because we are the conquered and we are the conquerors within ourselves. And so we can't erase the Spanish in us. We can't erase the European. We just gotta embrace it and make it our own. And that's what we see in these villages, in these places with the big Afro-Mexican population. They've embraced their identity as being Afro-Mexicanos, and they're just, this is me, this is our life, and this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and we need to just do better, right? I think that's been the theme of today's show is everyone just needs to do better, right?
Yeah.
And, yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, it has been a lot this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, we're going to put, what's her name again? The menopause lady?
Just Being Melanie.
Just Being Melanie.
Just Being Melanie.
We are going to put a reel or two of hers having, because the way she introduces the show, it's like a beginning of a meeting. So you can join her meetings when she posts them, and we're gonna put a couple of her reels, videos on our Facebook page. I hope you enjoyed today's show. But yeah, that's all I got. Christina, you got anything else?
I think we got it.
All right, y'all, have a good one till we see you next time.
We'll see you soon. Bye.